found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now.
Well, good morning to more podcast. Yeah, it's the morning. I mean, we're recorded in the morning. Yeah, it's morning. And it's actually kind of a nice day outside.
It is.
I was really woke up and I'm like, it's a little humid, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We are fully in the dog days of summer.
You think so?
Yeah, we're heading out, but it is full on that August blah. Everybody go home.
Yeah, everybody's, yeah.
It's hot. Go home.
Go back to where you came from. I don't know. You know, people, I have really sick friends apparently, but they're posting about wintertime already. Like it's almost here.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you guys.
Yeah. Winter.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if it's the best kept secret just because people have to go home and maybe they already know it's awesome, but to me, the best kept secret in Northern Michigan is 1 month away. Fall in Northern Michigan is
you're right.
hands down the best time of the year.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, with all that damage that happened with the
the ice storm. Yeah, but I'm just saying, temperature-wise, pace of life-wise, it's certainly beautiful. Yeah, there will be new scapes to look at on the hills for sure.
Well, and they were saying the tunnel of trees. They're saying that it's not going to be as good this year because they had a lot of damage. But
yeah. I just drove down that road. It was fine.
Yeah. Not bad.
I was out there too.
I've not been out there. I just been reading stuff from people on there, and they're like, you know, it got a lot of damage and stuff. So
PG, I went with the bachelors. We went out. And Dave was saying that if he would pay an obscene amount of money to be able to deer hunt up there.
Yeah,
there's no predators.
Okay,
right? Do you agree or disagree?
Where I heard that, I mean, the Goodhart Cross Village area they have some of the bigger bucks in our area. Yeah,
I mean, we saw 12 deer.
Yeah,
and a 10-minute drive.
Mm-hmm. And you can't hunt there right now?
I think you can, but because of the nature of the terrain, makes it a little more difficult and
the number of houses and
right.
all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So the fact that where I live too, we have an obscene amount of rabbits. Like you, if you're a rabbit hunter, boy, oh boy, 9 Mile Point, man, there are just rabbits everywhere in there. And it's because it's like kind of landlocked between the highway and the lake, no predators.
Right.
So they're just eating and having babies.
So,
wow.
So I have to make this announcement.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Or actually Cluck Norris, I'm sorry.
Cluck Norris. Yeah, Cluck Norris.
Who was a mainstay here on the show.
Yeah.
Yesterday, our chickens were hauled off in a box.
Uh-oh.
We no longer have chickens.
What?
All of them?
Why?
My wife was done with chickens. She's
really?
fed up with chickens.
She's done.
She was done with chickens. So we gave our chickens to somebody yesterday. So
Did you really?
We had to run around and catch 9 chickens and put them in a
So Cluck Norris is no longer...
Cluck Norris is no longer officially associated with
our house. Peach, why?
She's done.
Was this like a snap decision? Like one day I've had it?
No, it's been about a month running.
Like I've had it with these chickens.
But then she wanted me to butcher them. I'm like, I got a good idea. Let's give them to somebody.
Yeah.
So what was the catalyst there? Eggs are $2.50 at the store, and
yeah, but you wouldn't believe how much it costs to feed them.
Yeah, it's a lot of work,
every single day you're going down there to feed them.
Oh, it's a lot of work. Yeah,
it's work, and then the novelty.
You got a big garden too, right?
Yeah, the novelty for our grandchildren's they wore off a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So we were doing it because they wanted us to get chickens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not much fun anymore.
If you can't have the bribe of like, come hang out and do the chicken thing with me, right? I get that.
Yeah. Yep. So that was gone, and so some of the
bummer, man.
Some of the pixie dust of chicken life was gone.
So what are you gonna do with your little chicken area now? Are you gonna?
I don't know.
Maybe pigs.
I just literally put up a new fence around it here a month ago, and bought a new chicken
guys
door.
will find something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Put a pig in there. You know.
Yeah.
A pig.
Yeah. They'll eat anything.
I just feel like that is another level of commitment. If you don't want
worse
chickens,
than chickens, probably right.
But then the payoff, though.
Sure.
Yeah, the payoff would be amazing.
I just wanted to let you guys know that life
that's
has
a sad
changed
day.
at the Mindel farm.
That's a sad day right there.
Yeah.
No more chickens. No more.
Part of it too is we get to go to the Polly's cabin here this next week, and we got to pay somebody to come in and feed and water the chickens every day and get the eggs, and then you're paying somebody, and it's like we're losing money.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. That's how I feel about dogs right now.
Oh,
I mean, the dogs we have are because our kids wanted dogs.
Where are the kids?
The kids are gone, and we have the dogs. And I don't want to be tied down to my house all the time because of the dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not like a cat where you can just stick
you
the
have
food
to
and water
take them
out there
out,
and come back a month later and they're fine.
It's just not. This is not in. I don't have the willpower.
But you guys are dog
anymore.
people.
We're dog people, but I told Amy, I admitted to her the other day, I have lost my drive. Like,
dogs?
For anything. I mean, like when I was younger, I was driven. I was a driven human being. If I had my mind set on something, it was going to get accomplished. Now, I'm like, it can be put off for the next weekend, maybe another month. I don't really have a desire to do that. And I admitted to her finally, I'm like, I'm just going to tell you up front.
Yeah.
I just don't have the drive like I had before. So I'm just letting you know that now.
Yeah,
I'm just admitting it to myself. Yeah. I don't know what, something just to
I would
switch
bet
flipped.
that I just got done cleaning up dog mess last night and I was furious, right? Just the worst. And
it's everywhere.
There's like hard surfaces everywhere, but let's choose a carpet, like it's just so annoying. But I would bet if my dogs disappeared tomorrow for some reason, I would want a dog again.
By yourself? If you didn't have the kids in the house. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Maybe that's different. Maybe. It just feels a little, once you have a dog, it just feels empty.
I can fill that up with something else. I don't need to have a dog that I got to feed all the time. Make sure it goes to the bathroom all the time. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And,
the Mindels are like, do you remember Dwight when he talked about animals on a farm and he has to watch Angela's cat and he puts the cat in the freezer?
Oh, yeah. Puts her to sleep. Yeah.
I grew up on a farm. I'm sorry, Angela. If animals are for milk or meat. It's more functional, right?
Speaking about that, have you seen the trailers for the paper yet?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I have all kinds of hope for that show.
I'm hoping too.
It's coming out in a month, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be part of the fall lineup.
Yep, it's all the showrunners and writers of the original one, and some of the
people from Dunder Mifflin are going to be there.
Will be there. I was a little skeptical if you're trying to do the same characters again, like that, but it's new characters and it's got that really dry, kind of drawn out humor, and again, the writer part is the big deal. Is it Jeff? What's that guy's name? I forget, but
you're the guru of
it's Jeff. Is Jeff Daniels? It's Daniels something. It was the guy who did King of the Hill, and but it's I have a lot of hope. The trailer looks great,
and they're keeping Oscar as Oscar. He's not changing.
Yeah,
his
he
name.
comes in, which is kind of a perfect part for his character because the premise is a failing small town newspaper, and so Oscar's kind of the like artsy guy and like writer, and so that will be super fun to have kind of like him to lean into.
Have you ever gotten the Petoskey News Review lately?
Yeah, no, you've told us about this, so it's so fun.
Oh my gosh,
what?
It was like 5.5 pages.
Yeah,
for the whole thing, and on the front page, the column next to the headliner, was blank.
Oh really?
There was nothing to write in there.
Oh, okay.
What?
It was crazy.
What kind of newspaper is going on here?
Well, what was the one you were telling us? It was when you went to deer camp or something and you got the paper and it was like, Dorothy's second aunt or whatever.
Had lunch over at the Polly's.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
That's kind of like the paper they hand out around us in the Sheboygan County.
Maybe that was you guys. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It's like the dumbest news I've ever heard in my life.
But there's something like quaint about that, right? Like I'm glad that still exists.
Not for $1.50.
Well,
that's the other thing.
Yeah,
but
to see a little too big.
To see the front page with an open column with nothing in it because there wasn't anything to write in.
Right.
What?
I remember after church every Sunday, my dad going and buying a Sunday paper at the gas station. Everybody got Snickers.
Yeah.
He got a paper and we all got a Snickers. Yeah. That was the
dentist.
thing.
That's the dentist.
I know.
That's the dentist thing. Is he's like, you like gum or suckers? No way.
Okay.
But chocolate, because it can go quick.
Okay.
So eat that.
Yeah. And then the other joke, this was fun too. I would walk from the elementary school in Boyne City to my dad's dental office as a kid, and directly next to it is the Bread Box Bakery.
Yep. And you go into the dentist there even now.
Oh boy, yeah. There's chocolates everywhere, man.
All the ladies that are working. Did you go to the bakery first? Right?
Yeah, right.
You're either going to celebrate.
They're no dummies,
or you're
PG.
gonna,
That's just called
like, bring me one if you come in.
Good business model right there.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Clean those cheeks, get some sugar on it. Maybe he's getting a little kickback from the bakery or something.
Oh my goodness!
The bakery's getting a kickback from him.
You just send it back. You send it my way. Well, if you're wondering why you take the time each week to listen to more podcasts, I'll tell you why. More stands for maximizing opportunities for right now and eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on. Today's episode is proudly fueled by Black Rifle Coffee, because without it, we'd still be sitting in the corner praying for caffeine instead of walking in it. Huge thanks to our friends at Black Rifle Coffee for keeping us awake, alert, and just jittery enough to think our bad ideas are actually good ones. You can get this at blackriflecoffee.com, and they were a huge supporter of a recent event here.
Yeah, they really came through in a big way. I contacted Jason Mesner this morning to say, hey, you should reach out to Black Rifle to be a sponsor of your
That's a great idea.
Fishing show.
Oh.
And this is his response. I was going to reach out to them, but they're not veteran owned anymore, that they have sold out to a big corporation. Now they're just veteran funded. And so he has now found a new company that is called Delta Force Coffee, it is a first responders coffee company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Black Rifle's awesome. At least Kate wrote to him to say thank you, and they're great. Yeah. But they're no longer owned by a veteran.
So they sold it to someone else. Wow.
But still, they did a great job, and we're super, super excited that
they donated I think Chelsea said
$7,000
worth of.
7,000 servings. Yeah, there's a lot of coffee. A lot of coffee.
It's good coffee too. That's what I buy at home.
Yeah. I usually just go for instant. So
they have instant.
Yeah, they do have instant.
I am drinking their instant coffee as we speak.
Oh, you are right now. Yeah, it's not bad.
No,
it'll
wake you up, man. It does the job.
I don't know. I like the stuff that we get here. The gold espresso stuff.
Koba.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, we're going to come back with introductions right after this ID break, and we've got some interesting things we're going to talk about today. We actually, this is a fun thing that I like to do. Is I don't know if you guys ever have meandered around the internet and looked at bulletins of other churches and some of the things that wind up in their bulletins, and you wonder how that even got past anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a whole new list of bulletins with interesting things that have popped up recently this month in churches, and we're going to go up to that list right after our introduction.
Your day is about to get better. How do we know? Because you press play on the More podcast. You're welcome. We will be right back.
Well, before podcasting, he spent an entire summer trying to launch biblical energy drinks. The manna mango flavor was called Mysteriously Filling, and a Pentecostal pepper batch had the youth group speaking in tongues. Please welcome
so good.
Pastor Ted.
The Pentecostal pepper batch. That's good. That's awesome. All right. Well, before entering ministry, he tried to start a Christian fitness program called Sweatin' to the Psalms. The idea flopped when he realized Psalm 23 isn't great for cardio. Please welcome Pastor Gary.
Walking through the shadow of the valley. One more time. Two more times.
Yeah. It just slows way down all of a sudden. I'm just not feeling. Okay, we're going to just do a breathing exercise then.
Okay, the man that has all of the talent and the buttons and knobs and does a beautiful job and has the voiceovers and everything. This is the man who mines Bitcoin with his own pickaxe. Also the man who washes all of his clothes in Lake Michigan.
Yes.
To get that organic experience. Pastor Alex Norton.
Thank you. Yes. And I use the Petoskey stone.
Yeah.
To rub it down.
It's
a pumice.
Yeah,
there you
go.
A pumice.
So we are, talking about some of the things that are happening here. One of the things that's happening is we're moving the studio.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to be in a different location. That's going to be happening soon. Not yet, but
I had a thought I need to talk to you guys about. Maybe off air about that.
Off air. Yeah. It's an off air conversation.
Yeah.
Can't let it out now.
Well, I mean, I guess I could. Do you want me to talk about it?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I know we moved from next door.
Yep. Yeah.
But AJ just got this. AJ also said to me, he goes, hey, once the kids go back to school, I need to jump on in that podcast.
Oh.
So he can kind of help
produce
stuff. His kids are, he's working from home. So, on Wednesdays. But we just got this green screen next door.
Yep.
Yeah.
The room is big enough next door. It's a big room.
Yeah.
There's lighting in there.
Right.
We could make the camera thing look really good, and we could have a green screen. It's like a couple $100 for a green screen.
A green screen in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can make it whatever we want every day.
We could. And it's big enough, because I always look at me and I'm like, boy, that's right up on my belly. You know what I mean?
Oh, you don't want it like that?
So I do think we could step the video thing up. It looks good. Like the video looks good. But we could I've noticed my favorite podcasts are doing like a bench and a kind of like sort of a half circle, Johnny Carson style.
Yeah.
And you could do that almost like the ESPN desk on like
Sports
Center, you know?
Yeah.
And so you have cameras more directed at faces rather than sides, that kind of thing. And we have the room up there to do it.
Right.
So there's my 2 cents. Take it for what you want.
You could, the
lighting would work up there.
The only thing that you were concerned about was the school bell.
The audio.
Yeah.
But
I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I think we could. I think there's some way to do it. But that's my 2 cents.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Studio 1211. That was that studio.
That was
across
what
the
we
street.
started out with.
Yeah, I think that's the Lord has His hand upon that.
Yeah. So we could use it as an option.
Yes.
Or do it.
I think so.
I think do it.
I think we can. But we got
to think about all our cameras. We got 3, right? We have to get a good, like an announcer's desk or like the ESPN, the mothership. What is it? Desk, right? A big desk, Johnny Carson desk, whatever. And then we could put those cameras in the right spots with good lighting behind a green screen,
and then
not a green screen, and just make it like this and here.
The green screen school.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could. We'd have to look for a table or something.
Okay, so then the other option thing that we need to think about was just the power. The power supply.
Yeah, the power's the problem, because
that is the problem.
We've got a lot of things in here.
We do.
Plug in.
So we've got about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To get this kind of sorted. So in 2 weeks, if we could get power up there in 2 weeks,
I mean, we can get power up there, kind of jankily, but to do it right.
Yeah.
All
so we need to get some.
We'll figure it out after this.
Yeah,
we need to get some power up there.
But exciting stuff, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
because I have just a little sliver left in that budget.
Just a little bit of slush fund.
Just a little bit of slush fund. We could still kind of make the power thing happen.
Cool.
All right, we can do it. Well, is that going to take away from the Link Conference slush fund, or is that something separate?
Better not.
I think that went away a while back.
Oh man. Well, okay. Well, we're not eating that red lobster.
Pastor Ted has been blessed.
By
this slush fund.
That's right.
Lately.
We're so excited for Hunter to get here, man. We're going to take care of that guy.
That's the whole thing.
He's going to feel blessed when he gets here.
That's the whole thing. He's going to be doing.
He's getting hooked up. It's not like milk crates and putting a Canon camera on top of it. It's going to look
right.
Good,
it's going to be a good camera. Yeah.
It'll be
all
good.
right. I got you. All right. Take an ID break. Come right back with bloopers that have made it into the bulletin.
Live from an undisclosed location somewhere under the church fellowship hall, possibly near the coffee pot, it's Gary, Ted, and Alex with more podcasts. Stay tuned for more.
I like the new spots. Yeah, Alex. Those
got
are
a few
those
different
are cool.
ones. Yeah. All right. So these are bloopers. Every time you get a bulletin, it is kind of a scary thing. You never know what's going to be in it. You hope that there's information that's helpful, but somebody somewhere puts things in there and they don't necessarily understand.
Yeah.
That context is everything, and how you word things.
First one, man.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened, and you can't see my paper here, but these are all taken from the internet from different churches. Here's one. It says, this was in a bulletin. It says, if you need to heave during the postlude. What is a postlude, anyways? Is that
it's like the thing that happens after the sermon,
kind of like the benediction music ending. Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they put this in here that please do it so quietly. So if you need to heave during the postlude, please do it quietly.
I'm imagining that was leave.
Yeah. Like, don't do it here.
But don't heave.
Have you seen those videos where people I just have a real natural reaction to when somebody goes like that, and then they can't stop?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And some of the husbands have found that their wives had that
Right,
issue.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
that's
those
pretty
things.
funny.
Anyways, yeah, so that might happen in a church. You'd have a bunch of people doing that.
Man, can you imagine the phone calls on a Monday morning in the church office after that one?
Everybody was
Because
puking.
everybody has the people in the congregation who love to be the editor of the bulletin.
Oh yeah,
I will let you know
every Sunday.
every mistake that is in the bulletin. Right?
Right.
We have those people.
Grammatical.
Yo, boy.
Oh, every Sunday. Well, it was for a while. We had people, contacting us here saying, "Hey, you messed this up, or this
Right.
word is not here, or you need to put this."
How
in.
about my word last week in the service?
Yeah,
The guy
what was
that joined the Monkery.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the monkery.
That's a good word, man. That needs to be a thing.
We need to
I
have
corrected it later with the monastery, but
the monkery. I like that.
That was good.
We need to put like a Pastor
Everyone-
Gary lexicon together.
Well, and everyone knew exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're
so-
like monkery. Yeah, and they're like, that's a real word, right?
Right.
Monkery.
I don't think it is, but I understand what
Yeah,
he's saying.
I'm going to go
yes.
with that one. Yeah. All right, here's another one. The senior choir invites any member of the congregation who enjoys singing to join the choir.
Biggest attendance ever.
Yeah, right.
Choir exploded.
They're just missing a G in there if you're not familiar with that problem there. It's should be singing. Okay, here's another one. Monday, Thursday service. The ladies of the Altar Guild will be stripping on the altar. Not good.
Ooh, that one
Yeah.
is rough. Oh, man.
What was that? What were they trying to say there? That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's not. I don't know. what they
So
were,
is
yeah.
in a Monday, Thursday service stripping the altar, maybe?
Yeah, maybe
As in
stripping the altar.
Taking the cloth. over the-
off. Yeah, getting
so
it ready for the next
stripping
Sunday.
the
Yeah,
altar.
okay.
Yeah. So,
But still a very strange way
but
to
the word
say that.
on changed it.
Oh, boy.
putting
Yeah.
on in there was not good. Okay, that's bad. Sorry, whoever.
But
did
even
that.
maybe find a different word than stripping.
Right.
Like dismantling.
Yeah, something like that would be better.
Derobing.
Derobing.
Well,
Yeah.
that might
Well, no. That's in the line of monkery. That's not good either. Okay, here's another one. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery downstairs. So some of the parents in church.
If you've had an extra
Yeah.
couple kids just roaming around your house, they could be yours.
I think part of that is
so funny.
some of the older people are like, wait a minute, you don't hear your child screaming in the service? Let me tell you about a nursery.
I forgot about those two.
Yeah.
If you've had children reach out to you and say, hey, you could be my dad.
We got an issue.
We got you covered.
Here's another one. The outreach committee has enlisted 25 visitors to make calls on people who are not afflicted with any church.
There you go.
It's supposed to be affiliated, I think, on that one. Yeah. So, yeah. Afflicted with any church. So, yeah, that could be a problem. Here's another one. Potluck supper, Sunday at 5 p.m. Prayer and medication to follow.
Yeah, that's why we don't do potlucks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Here's the Pepto. And
We're going to hand out the medication for everybody.
Man.
Come here, Grandpa.
Do you remember going to potlucks? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we don't do them as often as we used to
I
here at
do,
Harbor Light,
yeah.
but you're always just looking for cat hair.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I've been to that person's house before.
Yeah.
Did anyone bring pizza?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
the church I grew up in, we did lots of potlucks. It was small Lutheran church, and they did the wild game thing. They would do that, which was
Yeah.
usually pretty good.
Sure.
But man, there's some casseroles that just don't need to exist.
Yeah, you're like,
the
what?
tuna noodle thing. I don't understand why
Possum casserole.
anyone's ever like that.
Really?
You like tuna noodle casserole, PG?
Yeah, he does.
I do.
He's
Without
like,
the peas. Don't put the peas in
don't,
there.
yeah. There you go. Take them out.
You know you're a Midwesterner who grew up in church.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
like tuna noodle, baby.
Yeah.
But that's a staple for a lot,
Oh man, that is not.
The thing for me
I don't know how
is
you make that taste good.
potlucks, whenever we had them, I always had somebody that I really trusted to say, tell me who's this who's. So when I get out there, because obviously they're watching
They're the
pastor
cupbearer.
eat. Yeah,
They're the cupbearer,
they're letting
yeah.
me know.
Do you guys ever notice I don't eat at church events?
Really?
Yep.
Ever?
I walk around and talk to people. I eat
Good.
later.
That's a good.
So you're not going to have any of the boiled hot dogs at the one service?
See, I think
might
a
jump
hot
in on
dog's
that, but
okay.
yeah, but-
you're gonna like.
But generally, I just talk to people. I don't really eat.
I'm
the
begging Pastor Matt to
the-
not use a boiled thing.
The boiled hot dog thing is so funny. That is just like
I
The
can't.
weirdest.
I know, and it is a quick way to cook a bunch of hot dogs.
Listen, man, I've gone to Ann Arbor, Michigan every year of my life as a child with my dad and sat in Michigan Stadium and eat 2 boiled hot dogs every time. And it's the best tasting hot dog you've ever had.
Is it?
Sure.
Is it 10?
I mean, the atmosphere makes it.
It's the ambiance,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
All right, so
Here's another one.
medication to follow.
Yeah. Here's another one that was in a bulletin. Please place your donation in the envelope along with the deceased person that you wanted remembered.
Ashes.
Yeah.
Ashes are okay.
Put them in there. Yeah. We'll take your deceased person and the envelope of money.
The person who cuts the money opens it and poof, just a powder comes out.
We've got Dustin here. We don't know what it is. Call the police. Here's the last one. I up my pledge. Up yours. There's a dash in there. It sounded good on when they were saying it around the table. Everybody's like, "This is a good. This we're going to say. This is going to be good in the bulletin." And then when it came out, people are like, "What?" Yeah. All right. We're taking an ID break. Come back with Harbor Light Bible trivia question.
Binge the More podcast. It's calorie-free, sugar-free, and yet somehow still leaves you spiritually stuffed. So, get your stretchy pants on because we have more.
Hey, so before we get into Bible trivia, we got to add our fantasy football corner next week.
That's right.
Yes, we do because
We
we're
draft
doing
tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? I got a problem though.
What's that?
I have the Pregnancy Care Center thing on Thursday.
Oh boy.
So what do? I do that. I'm going to be sitting there while we're talking about some serious subjects, and I'll be like,
Oh my god.
"Give me my players." Can I give you a list?
No.
Oh,
It is on your app, dude.
okay. So then I'll just have to I'll just have to have the app on my phone and do it while I'm sitting there.
And you don't have to watch everybody else's.
Just gotta do mine.
Just got to do yours.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have an appointment after this
Yes,
meeting
sir.
because you need
Yes,
to
sir.
coach me on this.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's it's a 10-man league. I actually had to turn people away just because we didn't have once you set the league, you can't change it, sort of thing.
Right.
And
But
so
that's okay.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
It's okay. People
Next year-
wanna be a part of it.
You
it's
gave
good,
them
yeah.
an opportunity.
I did, but I feel bummed. So
It's
Nikki,
not.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not on us. We kept announcing it, and
I know.
people were like, "I want to do it."
Well, and then I changed the number because I didn't think we were gonna get it. But anyways, next week we can talk about the draft.
yes,
We're there. We made it, boys.
I'm ready. I have
We
a
made
list.
it.
I have a list set up
Okay.
already. So
All right.
go for
That'll
that.
be
All
fun.
right. So now we are in Harbor Light Bible Trivia. And if you want to be a part of this week, all you have to do is write into harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, or you've said that you can put it on Facebook or Messenger, the podcast through our Facebook socials.
Okay, so I've already researched this morning.
All right.
This morning. Yeah.
This morning, Lisa
Hot
Kay
off
and
the
I
press.
did devotions. We read through the entire Exodus chapter 14.
Okay.
So our question for you that we have for this week is, how long did it take the children of Israel to cross the Red Sea according to the scripture?
Oh, according
wow.
to, okay.
I don't know this answer.
Well, 7 weeks according to Harbor Light.
All summer
yeah,
long.
that's true. That's so funny.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All summer
We go by-
long here.
We're
in
7
Harbor
weeks
Lake.
into it. We have not
How
crossed
long?
yet.
How long is the Red Sea?
But how wide?
I mean, yeah, it's not a big sea, right? Like,
This is
It's
debatable.
actually pretty big.
Yes,
Is it?
it's debatable
Okay.
how big it
Okay,
is.
so this isn't in the Bible, of course, but
Yeah.
the research says it's about 1.5 to 15 miles at the crossing location.
Okay.
There are other places, the Red Sea, it's like 170 miles across.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Would have been a long
but the
walk.
crossing
Would have been
thing-
a long walk.
Yes.
Okay.
But remember, you're crossing with 1 million people, 1 to 3 million people,
Yeah.
depending on
It'd be like going across the Mackinac Bridge 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
up to that. Yeah.
Yeah, up to 3 or 4 times to get across. You on your own. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're. That kind of give you something, a mental picture to
Yeah,
kind of put
I think
back,
that.
yeah.
I think just stick with the. That's a really good. I'm going to probably use that this weekend. It'd be like
Yeah.
crossing the Straits of Mackinac.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a long
Okay.
walk. So
Yeah.
that's 5 miles.
Right.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how long? How much time?
Now, how much time did it take
Yeah.
for them to cross?
How much
How
time?
long does it take to cross the?
Red Sea.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in our terms, how long would it take to cross the Mackinac Bridge?
Walking?
Yeah.
It's a couple hours.
Okay, so there you go. So
Five
multiply
times.
that.
Couple
Yeah,
hours,
Just do
5
one
times.
time. This is going to do one time.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did it as many miles as you're talking about across, it'd be
Well,
5 times 2 hours.
Yeah, it could take 10 hours to get
Take
across.
10 hours to get across. the Red Sea.
But I want you to picture.
We are in the weeds.
Yeah, but I want you to picture you're dragging your 4 kids.
Right. Yeah.
right.
And the
donkey
dog
with
right. But the cool part is, which we talked about last week, and you're going to get into it this week.
Yep.
Is they didn't walk on mud; they walked on dry ground.
Correct.
Right.
Have you ever thought about this one? And you know that it's a cartoon. It's like a guy he's in the Israelites party and he throws his fishing pole into the side. Have you ever seen that cartoon? It's like, the joke. He's like fishing and he's like at the wall, right, of water.
Yeah.
Do you think that they probably had to see some fish or something in there, right?
Could
they're walking by.
I don't know what would be in there.
You think it's like a rolling wave, right, as they're walking by, or is it just solid wall of water and you're looking at it?
The language I read this morning was the wall of water.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And the Bible says it stood up.
So the fish are looking at you.
You could probably see. Yeah, what sea life is in that?
In the Red Sea?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Piranhas?
You're like staring at it. You're walking by. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
They're probably ticked. They're like, wait a minute.
All right, I was trying to get over there.
I can't. I got to wait for the crosswalk to go through here.
Do you think they could have jumped it?
Oh, into the water?
Yeah, like they're like gapping.
Yeah, they're like, I'm going to get some fish while we're going through here.
Yeah.
So, they're right there. I'm going to grab a few. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Right now, there are over 1,200 species of fish that live in the Red Sea.
Yeah. It was like an old cartoon, they're like walking by and he throws his fishing line in there.
Yeah.
But that made me think, I was like, man.
Yeah.
Dolphins, turtles, sharks, they're all listed.
There's sharks in there?
That's what it says.
Staring at a shark as you're passing
It's connected
through.
to the Pacific Ocean, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
a
makes
shark.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, you don't want to put your hand in there. All right, well, if you want to be a part of that, you got to send it to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com. harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. You can put it on our socials if you have the answer, however you want to do that. And we will be right back after this ID break with Bible Talk.
Long ago, in a church office not so far away, 3 men armed only with Bibles, microphones, and a questionable amount of coffee set out on a mission to make you laugh, make you think, and occasionally make you say, wait, was that even in the Bible? First, there was Gary, part pastor, part dad joke machine, and part mystery. Mostly because no one knows where he keeps finding those golf shirts. Then Ted, man of faith, man of wisdom, and man who once tried to fix the church copier with duct tape and a worship CD. And finally, Alex, he's the glue that holds it all together, mainly because he's the only one who actually knows how to work the record button. Together, they are the More Podcast, because sometimes a sermon just isn't enough. You need more.
It's kind of like an Ocean's 11 thing.
Man.
I think that's a screaming goat.
Yeah.
That's worth the screaming goat right there.
That is worth the screaming goat.
There you go.
That's like the Ocean's 11 version.
Yeah, I was going to say, man,
that was
that's
great.
Very cool.
It's like the beginning of a good movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job,
More
Alex.
podcast. We're going.
Good job,
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Well, today on the More Podcast, we're diving into week 7 of our Red Sea Rescue series. But spoiler alert, the Israelites still aren't crossing just yet. Pastor Gary takes us into Exodus 14 and shows us why there's one more lesson before the big miracle, learning to recognize and experience God's presence in the middle of the impossible. From the omnipresence that surrounds us to the indwelling spirit within us to those powerful, evident moments when God shows up in undeniable ways, this message will challenge you to stop asking small and start believing in big things. You'll hear biblical examples, personal stories, and even a few laughs along the way, but most importantly, you'll be inspired to invite God into every part of your life, from the kitchen sink to the Red Sea's edge. So let's jump in. No pun intended there. Pastor Gary.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being a part of this. And it's always fun to hang out with you guys and be able to talk about these things that are a little extra information that we don't necessarily cover. But reflecting back on those things that we did mention on Sunday morning, it was a lot of fun, kind of a fun way to get things going. Everyone was anticipating this wonderful crossing.
Yeah.
And then I gave them the good news that we're going to hold off one more week. So
And the groans.
The groans were pretty good. So, the big idea, of course, is that you can't move through some of these challenges or some of the obstacles of life, or even just general things that the God has called you into without his presence and his assurance of his presence with you. And so I was able to give a couple of personal stories about in times in which the Lord has spoken to me and given me direction, and that gave me the assurance to be able to stand in the next phase, walk in those things that God had for me. I do feel like there's kind of that idea, keep one eye on where you're going and one eye on the fact that God's with you. I think that's an important thing to help you. That's the most promise in the Bible, is that I will not leave you nor forsake you, that I'm going to be with you. That's the most promise there is in the Bible. So that's an important thing that we need as we move forward on that. Yeah. So reading the passage of Scripture, then the angel of the Lord, it was a lot of fun to be able to talk about that, because in Exodus chapter 13, the chapter before actually says the Lord led them. So the angel is the Lord. So that idea that we're having a theophany experience where Jesus is making himself a pre-carnate manifestation of his presence as the angel of the Lord, or the cloud. So that idea, which in one service I did better job, the other service I just breezed right past that point. But anyway, so we do have those experiences in our Bible where Jesus shows up more. I was able to mention this, that those three phases of God's dwelling with us. We have his omnipresence, we have his indwelling presence, and we have his manifest presence. And that scripture that we all use whenever we pray, where 2 or 3 gather together in my name, there I am in your midst, right? So that is sharing that anytime 2 or 3 Christians gather together, there's something more tangible, more experiential about the presence of God in those situations. And so the children of Israel getting ready to walk on dry ground with walls of water on both sides, and they need to know that God's presence is going to be with them. And of course, the cloud is leading them. It was a lot of fun to be able to share how the water cloud turns into fire. Water doesn't usually burn. Right. No. And so what a miraculous thing. They've already seen God's hand 10 times in Egypt, and now they're getting to see him in the biggest way in the crossing. Yeah. So
it'd still be a little weird though to walk through the walls.
Oh boy.
Of water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care how much you've seen before that. That'd be kind of freaky. Yeah.
I think I keep coming back to that thing of, it's that testifying to yourself of God's provision in your life. And this is just such a great example of that. And you gave great personal stories of, when God does something amazing, it's not just for that moment. Certainly that moment is the proof that he's with you and he's going to see you through the thing. But it's also for the moment 10 years down the road where you're like, man, Lord, I'm in it, but I can trust you because you're trustworthy, and here's how you were. And I'm testifying of that to myself even now. Yeah. And so I grew up in a church that minimized testimony.
Okay.
Right? Like it was this kind of false humility Christian thing of pseudo-Christian thing of we don't need to talk about ourselves. We just need to talk about Jesus. That's the way it was kind of masked. But, and kind of the Lord revealing, man, the testimony that PG you have of how God has worked in your life is so vitally important for you to hear, me to hear. And I just encourage our congregation and people listening today, if God has worked in your life, you need to talk about it. It is not only just for you, it is for your future problems and the people around you who need to be testified to.
Well, that was one of the points that we made, that up to this point, the children of Israel, they don't have an Old Testament. They don't have a Bible. God is introducing himself for the very first time to them. They're experiencing him for the first time. And up to that point, there's probably it seems spiritually logical that the word of mouth, the stories of the patriarchs, was a part of their relationship with God, was really just kind of hearsay of what's happened before. But somebody has to share that for you to be able to know and be able to bank on that. Now, I've shared that story more than one time at Harbor Light, right? And I had someone text me later saying, I love it. Every time you share it, I tear up because God is with me, and I get encouraged when I hear how God was with you. So there is a faith builder. Paul actually said, Paul went through like an entire chapter. Well, I did this, and I did this, and I did this. Yeah. Well, he wasn't doing that to get everybody attaboys. Right. He was saying, listen, I've been through this, you can do it. Yeah. Right. And so I've been beaten and shipwrecked and lost for dead and all that stuff. he lists those things to be an encouragement to you when you're going through stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So I thought that that was an important point too, that the children of Israel, they need to encourage each other with that, and it was fun. I picked that up on it listening to Pastor Alex's 2 messages before. You took the time to give a personal reference, like when you're running the gym or the shooting that took place at the college. Those were great testimonies, great experiences that you had with God when he was with you. So have you had a burning bush experience in your own life that you'd like to maybe reflect back on?
Wow, I shared mine.
Yeah, I guess we got yours.
Yeah, you got one. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, as a young person, this is just part of my testimony in general, but I definitely think it comes into calling. I was my growing up was pretty religious. I would say church experience was pretty religious. We talked a lot about God. We knew about God. I don't know that I knew God. I don't know that I had a personal relationship with God. And so I was introduced to some pretty amazing youth pastors. And their names are John and Faye Gerster. And I remember I was sitting in a pastor's office. I knew how to do church. I was sitting in church a lot. I knew how to do that. And so this was youth ministry was new to me, though. So having fun and building relationships that were meaningful and talking about real things in life, not just stories in a book, like that was new to me. And so I remember sitting in a pastor's office. It felt very serious, and we were talking about repentance, which is a word I knew about, and the image of turning away from the darkness into the light and using a light bulb. I remember that story, but I remember sitting there going, John and Faye were very successful business people. I remember that there were, they had, pictures of George Bush on their wall saying, "Thanks, John and Faye, for support." You know what I mean? These were people who were connected and really successful, run businesses really well. And, I was like, we would hang out on their farm, this beautiful alpaca farm in Boyne City. And, we were sitting in that office, and I'll never forget this going, I don't understand why these people hang out with us. Like, they're older in age. They're not near it's not like a cool 20-year-old youth pastor at all. Right, like, what are you doing here? And so I said that to Faye. I said, why do you guys hang out with us? Like, why do you do this? And I will never forget Faye Gerster taking a breath. I'll get choked up talking about this, guys. Sorry. And she thought about it, and she said, "We love you because we were first loved." And
that's good.
I didn't understand the stand-up, sit-down, recite things at church that I was a part of. I didn't understand why I had to get dressed up. I didn't understand we were lighting candles. I didn't understand why I was repeating things after a guy was saying things. But I understood that. And that was a moment. I was like, all right, I'm all in.
That's awesome.
I'm all in.
That is so cool.
Yep. And so cool. For me, like, one of the things that John and Faye taught us was you have a testimony and you need to be able to share it. And so I think what, PG, you're talking about is that of like, hey, More podcast listener, Harbor Light attender, you have a testimony. You need to know it. You need to be able to say it in 2 minutes. So we would practice it, right? We would do it. It does not need to be a sermon. You need to be able to share it with authenticity and clarity, and the Lord will use it.
Absolutely.
The Lord will use it.
100%.
Yep.
That's one thing I like about when Amy, my wife, takes people on the mission trips, because that's one thing you work on. Before they leave is like, all of you in this room that are going on this trip are going to be sharing your testimony at some point. So let's work on it right now. And so they sit down and they try to work it out. And it's amazing how hard it is,
right,
to like pinpoint or think about what that is. And so she has to almost kind of like train them to understand, what it is to give a testimony about what God's done for you. I mean, it could be multiple stories, but you know, nail it down to that one thing and then share it well. But it is something that I think it's over and over again you see in the Bible, especially in the Psalms, where it's the legacy of the former generation is to share what God has done for them, so that the next generation can hear what God is doing, going to possibly do in their life, and it's an encouragement. And so, to not share those stories is really kind of letting the next generation not have anything to really grow with. You have to give them something to say, listen, this is how God did it for me.
Absolutely.
This is what he could possibly do for you. And it's proven in my life. And I think it's such a crucial part of the ministry experience with older adults, with people that have gone through stuff. And when we try to keep those stories to ourselves because maybe you don't think they're that great or grandiose or whatever it may be, you're really not helping the next generation move forward. You know, and that was something that in the culture of Israel, you know, they would constantly do that. That was such an important part. They would sit down with the elders. They'd sit down with people that have gone through stuff, share those stories with them so that they would know, you know, what God has already done, you know, and they may have never encountered God that way yet, but at some point you will.
Yeah.
And I've seen him do this, you know, and I think it's such a crucial part.
Let me ask you guys this. So we talked about practicing the presence of God, you know, understanding that he is with us and the importance of actually, you know, picturing him right there with you. I know both of you guys, you know, spend time in the Word. It's a part of our career, right? To study the Word and you know, to make sure that you're finding the great songs that talk about Jesus. But outside of work, how do you guys practice the presence of God outside of work? What things do you discover about that or challenges to it?
Yeah, great question. One of the things that I've been really encouraged with is what Pastor Matt often says is the presence of God is here. You don't have to invite him, right? And so I think in our flavor of Christianity, oftentimes it feels like we're inviting God, but where 2 or 3 are gathered, right? We know that his Spirit is present. And so I think what's been helpful for me to kind of realign my thinking is, God, help me see you, right? Like I know you're working, so help me see you work. And so some of the prayers that I'm having with the Lord is, God, throughout this day, I know you're going to be at work, and I just need to see you. And so that's a simple thing. I think on the practical side of, I am somebody who is ADHD to the max. And so sitting and journaling and having that is hard for me.
Oh yeah, that's work.
It's not an excuse to not do it. So don't hear that. I should do that and do that. But you know, if I have moments where I'm in the car to be able to go, you know, I'm listening to scripture, right? So that's been really helpful for me is I've got 20-minute drive.
There you go.
I can listen to the Bible. And I can be engaged with that. And I don't need to feel bad that I didn't take 2 pages of notes when I was doing it. Not that that's bad either. We want to do that too. But there's this guilt and condemnation thing that we like to throw on our spiritual lives of disciplines, and I don't know that that's from the Lord, right? Conviction is of I need to be with you, but so finding practical ways has been really helpful. If I have to walk over to the sanctuary and I'm doing some work or rolling chords or some mundane thing, let's listen to Pastor Dwayne from Res Life, or let's listen to last week's sermon from Pastor Gary or Pastor Alex. Let's listen to some scripture. You know, what's a worship song that I need to listen to that maybe I'm not trying to learn, but I'm just worshiping with? So those kind of things.
How about for you, Alex?
I tend to be a little more boring, really. I mean, the presence of God for me, I find a lot of times in study, outside of study. You know, like my own personal, like my own, whatever the Holy Spirit's been laying on my heart to look at even more. And you know, for a long time, I'd say quite a few months, I've been studying a lot about Christology, which is a study of Christ in Scripture, and that has been awesome for me. I mean, it's not like anything I'm going to have a conversation with everybody about and go, hey, you know, you know, but for me, God really, I feel very, very much like an intimate connection with God when I'm doing that, when I'm digging into something that I want to know about him. It's like, the best way to describe it is like when you know, I learned in my marriage early on, it's like, when my wife would come home from work, one of the first things I can do is say, tell me about your day, and like be actively listening. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I feel like is like when I'm sitting in those moments and in the presence of God, it's more like I'm being an active listener to what I'm reading, and it's coming into my spirit of what I maybe want to hear that I have not heard before, or I need to hear. And so it has been something of, I have had to teach myself to do this, because I tend to get and wander a little bit, but to sit there and say, okay, I want to designate this time to know you more, to understand what you've taught the church for 2,000 years. what do I need to hear? Because I know I don't know everything. I don't know enough about you, so I need to know more. And so I do that. And so it's been really helpful for me to, I feel like God's always directed me to places and material and books that he knows I need to see, or I need to read, or I need to understand. And that's my whole library, is those kind of things where I needed that for me to understand something more. And, when in school, I was not a big reader, but it's like, as I've progressively grown in the ministry and learned, they become more and more valuable to me, those moments. And, my wife will tell you, sometimes some of the things that I read and I try to talk to her about, it doesn't always translate very well. Yeah. But in my heart, it does for me. Like, it's something that I needed to hear. But it is that moment where I'm like, okay, God, I just want to have this conversation with you, and I want to hear, kind of like I would say to my wife, how's your day? I want to hear what it is. Tell me, and let me just kind of sit and listen, or read and listen. And it's been really something that's helped me to get in the presence. I'm not one of those people a lot of times that's moved by music, even though I've been playing music forever. It doesn't move me like some people do, but there are things that I've read and had to ponder on and think about that have rocked me to my shoes. And it's just like, tearing up, or a revelation of something that's like, why did I not see that before? But it's so deep. Yeah.
For me, I find myself, whether I'm on the golf course or chopping wood or doing something with grandkids, I have this saying that they all know it super well now, and it's just like, the Lord is good. I like to say the Lord is good because it makes me concentrate about him in that situation. And many times it'll be connected to something that's difficult, right? When I find something going not the way I planned, I'll just say, the Lord is good. Yeah. And then I try to think about the way in which, I'm complaining about something, but I'm still able to walk, right?
Yeah, right.
So I try to shift my mind onto something that the Lord has done for me that's a blessing. And yeah, I'm facing something that's difficult at the moment, but it's not going to crush me or anything like that. So I just say the Lord is good a lot. What about, I had someone comment that the Amy Carmichael three-word prayers was a big point for them.
Yeah, that was
really
good.
Enjoyed that, inserting the Lord into your situation. So some of the ones I wrote down, I made some of these up actually, but your power there, your peace over here.
Yeah.
Father, quiet me was a big one, of course. Heal them now, reveal your truth, make a way, joy overflow them, send your spirit, wash away sin. Those are just three-word prayers, and you can almost picture in your mind the situation or the setting in which that prayer would be appropriate, and you're inserting the Lord into whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So that was a big one. I got more than one person comment on that particular
awesome.
idea. You don't have to have these giant prayers.
Right.
Just kind of be walking. The Bible says actually we're supposed to be constantly in prayer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a way to kind of make that a reality. So.
I used to have a college student when we were in the college pastors interview. He always used to start his prayers, Daddy God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was so weird.
Sure.
Yeah. At
It
first,
was like odd to me, but he was sincere
I
about
never
it.
called my dad Daddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that seems like a little girl.
Yeah, right. But he was sincere about it. Yeah, he was sincere about it. And I mean, I'm like, it's just odd,
Yeah. I always had the conversation with kind of the senior saints around, hymns, right? So why always hymns are so rich? And it's like, they really are, and also the simple truth of, to sing of God's great love for you. Like it's the example of, and I think this is true of prayer, right? The great big wordy, love note your kid writes you or something that is full of poetry means as much as my son as a 4-year-old come up to me and give me a big wet kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Both are good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think if
and
you
that's the
only,
prayer. I'm sorry. So the connection to prayer, right?
Right, right.
The 2-3 word prayer, that's God. You're right with him. He's not impressed by a bunch of words.
Yeah.
Right. He just wants to be a bit with you.
I think if you got a giant 4-page, poem from your daughter every day, after a while you'd be like, all right, just give me a big hug. That's what I want, right?
Yes.
So I think they're both are appropriate and both are needed, and it's kind of like the tailgate for football season. You've got 17 games in a season, right?
Sure.
Half of them are home, half of them are away. So you're looking at about 8 games. Well, you tailgate for 8 games.
Sure.
baseball, you don't do tailgate because you have 162 games, right?
Right, yeah.
You're going to have another one tomorrow and maybe a doubleheader the day after that. So you don't tailgate there, right? So
you don't have time.
You don't have time. So I think sometimes less is more, right? And sometimes more is appropriate.
Yeah.
But
Have you guys ever got, I mean, this is kind of what you're saying, but have you guys ever gotten to the place like where, you know, in certain relationships, it doesn't take much for the other person to know what you're thinking or saying just by the look or whatever. Sure. Have you ever felt that with God? Like where you get to the point where it's kind of like, I don't even think I even need to say anything. God knows exactly what I'm feeling. And I feel confirmed that he knows.
Yeah.
I feel an assurance that he knows.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever felt that way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So can I kind of leave us? I think we're closing in. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to leave you with something I wasn't able to get to. And it came about via my devotions with Lisa Kay. So Jesus has spent 3 years with the boys. Okay. They've been on the front row of every teaching, every miracle service, every healing, every private lesson that they got. They were with Jesus. They knew Jesus, but they didn't know the word, the word Jesus. Jesus is the word.
Right.
So they knew him as a fleshly being, but they didn't know him as the fulfillment of prophecy. Okay. Kind of an interesting thought. So he has died and has resurrected. Now he's spending 40 days with them, getting them ready to launch out. And they're still not getting it. This is the response of Jesus, Luke 24. Then Jesus said, when I was with you before the resurrection, okay, I told you that everything written about me in the law of Moses, so the first 5 books of the Bible, the prophets, and the Psalms must be fulfilled. And this is the point that got our attention. Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures, to understand Jesus, the word, not just Jesus, the miracle worker. I'm praying that as we insert the Lord into every aspect of our lives, as we practice his presence, that he will open our minds so that we will understand who he is in the scripture and how those scriptures apply to our lives.
That's good.
I think that's a good way to end it for
It
today.
is.
Yeah. Is that going to be in
great.
the sermon next week?
It might find its way in there, but
Might be in
that
there.
was kind of, it might find its own special message.
Yeah, all by
that's
itself.
really good.
This is the series after the series.
Yeah.
Once
That's really good.
Red Sea Rescue turned into, now we're on the other side. Now let's talk about what was over there.
Well, there is another series. We'll probably do it next summer. It's the Jordan Rule.
That's
Jordan
right.
River rules.
The Jordan River rules. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing right there, man.
What do you guys think, as we close off here,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about doing a 10-week series during the summer? Do you
Yeah.
think it was good? Do you
I think it was
a little
good.
much?
I think it gives. I think especially because like
It's the summer.
Yeah, and small groups usually kind of like, I know my small group has hits the
Suspended,
pause button.
right.
Yeah, ours is too. Yeah.
Right. So you have that sort of shared teaching still. You know what I mean? You have that thing that I'm able to talk to my coworker about or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and I do think that's good. I think you're getting some mileage out of it for sure. So
Yeah. I think that
Yeah, right.
literal and
Literally 7 weeks before we cross.
I've always in the past, I always made as much of the summer as one-offs as possible because people are in or out so much.
Yeah.
That was my approach. And this summer I decided to do the opposite.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
make a 10-week series.
Yeah. It was
where
good.
you need to be connected. And
Yeah,
if
let's
you
stay
miss
in
one,
church.
you might lose track of what's going on.
Sure.
But I think dangling that carrot out there in front of everybody to get them across the Red Sea was a good move.
I
And
think
it
it's
kept-
funny how they literally, you can feel the energy and attention
right.
with everybody. Like they're like in the story now, It's
Right.
like, I'm there.
And then here's the funny thing, though. They crossed the Red Sea. It's like one verse.
Yeah.
It's like they walked across on dry ground. It's all about the preamble.
Yeah.
It's all about
We gotta have a big celebration and cheer when we
Right.
cross.
Yeah,
in
right.
church, right. When you read that one verse, we're all cheering.
Yeah.
and sing
When we
church.
finally do it, then we finally get to the other side, and Marion pulls out her tambourine.
That's right.
Yeah. Now it's a party.
Yeah.
That's the one day.
Maybe
we'll
that
allow
Sunday you can.
tambourines.
Yeah, maybe that Sunday
The
you can
one
let some
Sunday.
people. Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
Everybody can have a tambourine. You can bring your tambourines on that Sunday
Yep.
because this is real.
blow your shofar and play your
can't.
tambourine.
Oh, my shofar skills are so bad.
That's all right.
Yeah, it sounds like a dead goat. That's what it sounds like. It's not good. If I was called to blow the trumpet for Jesus to come back, people would be like confused.
He'd enable you to do it well. Mm-hmm. He'd give you all you need.
We'd hope. We'd hope.
He would touch your lips and let them vibrate.
And do what they're never done before.
Yeah.
It didn't work in the Salvation Army. Ain't going to work now. I mean, they tried to get me to play a cornet. And
really?
Oh, man. I was so bad at it. But they're like, you need to play.
Reed instruments are hard, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the mouthpiece on all the instruments. The brass instruments are so hard. You got to learn how to do them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to build up your lips and all this other stuff. And they're like, just try it. And I'm like, no. Because they're like, you're musical. You can figure this out.
Yeah, so then you just pulled out the bass and just had a amp on wheels and you just drug it around behind you.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I picked up the guitar. I was like, I'm not learning that. So, well, that's it for us. We'll see you next week. What was it? We got a few more weeks before you do the big thing, the big question with Wilson Insurance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this time we've got
at some point.
We've got cookies.
And we're going to be moving.
Cool.
And we got
We're going to be moving. Yeah. I mean,
cookies. Is Lisa Kay? What are we doing with cookies?
Yeah, she's doing something.
Yeah, she's doing some cookies.
She was feeling like some of our prizes were pretty lame.
Yeah, I know. That's what she was telling me. She's like, we need to up the ante on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We might.
She's like, bacon Band-Aids? Come on now.
Yeah, that was a big... Mandy, I don't know what Mandy's doing with them, but she might be just using them, put them on books or something. But we might need to take a week off or 2 weeks off to get the studio up because we got to move it over there. So unfortunately, that might be in our future. We might have a delay. So, but we'll keep 3 seasons of podcast
to go back
over 230 shows that you can listen to.
You can listen
hours
to
and hours and hours.
Podcast till you're blue in the face.
Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff on there, and I think we still even have some of the ones from the first season, way in the beginning when we were just trying to figure out the whole thing. So yeah, you can see how far we've come.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later.
We want you to know, find, discover, change with us. More podcast ending transmission now.